Thank you, Belle. So now let's proceed to the next mode of acquisition, which is revolution. So Hackworth included revolution among the specified modes of acquisition of territory, which is shown in the relevant passage in his digest. So he stated that revolution constitutes a historically familiar method of effecting changes in the territorial sovereignty. So they usually involve a declaration of independence from former political ties, withdrawal from the jurisdiction of the former sovereign, and the maintenance of the new independent status as the result of either military operations or the acceptance of the situation by states in a position to challenge. So this statement only means na through revolution, a new state comes into being. So there is an attainment of sovereignty but in the form of a new state or regime. Kasi nga 'di ba nasabi diyan, nabanggit diyan na they generally entail a proclamation of independence from past political relations and withdrawal from the former sovereign's authority and the maintenance of the new independent status. Also, Dickinson adopted the view expressed by Hackworth. So, in his book, The Law of Peace in 1951, he stated there that revolution is a form of acquisition of territory and that the transfer by revolution is perfected by the revolution's success. So, as defined din sa Durkheim's Law Dictionary, sinabi doon na revolution is often known as rebellions, successful rebellion. So, it is not a revolution until and unless successful in the overthrow of the government and the rebellion is aimed at. So, ito nga, this statement supports the claim of Dickinson, which he also adopted from the viewpoint of Hackworth regarding the revolution as one of the modes of acquisition. So, here, for example, the Netherlands revolted against Spain. So, dati kasi, part ng Holy Roman Empire ang Netherlands. So, it is all about the 80 Years' War of the Dutch Republic against Spain. So, the reason why is hindi sila magkasundo sa culture at religion. So, there is a religious clash of cultures built up. So, these tensions led to the formation of the independent Dutch Republic. Also, yung Bangladesh against Pakistan in 1971, so yung Bengalis kasi were subject to ethnic oppression by their new Pakistani rulers. So, Bengali culture was forced to submit to the west of Pakistan and they also want to change yung Bengali language nila with Urdu. So, after years of Bengali calls for independence, so West Pakistan began also yung genocide of Bengali people. So, this sparked the 1971 Bangladesh Liberation War. And when Pakistan also began bombing portions of northern India in their campaign, India entered the war against Pakistan and ended it within a month. So, East Pakistan finally became the independent state of Bangladesh. So, that's all for the revolution as a mode of acquisition. The next one is we will now proceed to the natural cause. So, the next mode of acquisition of territory is the natural cause. So, I wasn't really able to find yung specific term ng natural cause. But when I look at the definition ng accretion and natural cause, same lang naman sila ng content and meaning. So, this refers to the physical expansion of an existing territory through the geographical processes. So, meaning, it is the attainment of sovereignty over new land and acquiring a territory by addition of portions of soil due to the slow movement of natural forces. So, again, ito yung natural or geographical process resulting in the formation of new territory. So, it is the name for the increase of land due to some new formations such as alluvion, volcanism, or sandstorms. Pag sinabi natin alluvion, ito yung action of the sea or river in adding to the area of land by the process of deposition. Deposition is the layering down of sediments carried by wind, flowing water, the sea, or ice. So, mga sediment na to can be transported as pebbles, sand, mud, or salts which is dissolved in water. So, volcanism naman is also a natural process in which kapag nagkaroon ng volcanic eruption, the pulling materials from the deeper layers of the earth form a new crust on the surface. So hence the creation of different volcanic landforms. So it is a customary rule of international law that enlargement of the territories by new formations takes place ipso facto by accretion or by the fact of accretion. So without the state concerned taking any special step for the purpose of extending its sovereignty. Hence, accretion is a direct mode of acquisition of territory. Kasi nga, when a new territory is added mostly on natural reasons, the territory already under the sovereignty of the acquiring state, acquiring state's acquisition in the title to the territory, they do not require any formal act or statement on its behalf. It is because, yun nga, direct mode of acquisition of territory siya, and since the new land comes into being within that territory of a state and it form parts of its territory. So within a state na siya. So example is an island emerged in the Pacific Ocean after an undersea volcano erupted in January 1986. However, it is also recognized as territory of Japan due to its change of track of river. So ayun, pasadaan ko lang din kasi diba magkasama yung accretion and avulsion. Pero kasi si avulsion, it is refers to sudden loss of land. So, yung avulsion, it is the pushing back of the shoreline by the sudden violent action of the elements. So, ayun, magkaiba sila ni accretion and ni avulsion. Kasi again, si avulsion, sudden loss of land. Si accretion naman describes a gradual addition to land resulting from the action of water. So, that's all about natural cause. I hope you learned something. So, now to discuss the components of territory. Here is Raylene, Jerome, and Shira. But first, let's hear it from Raylene.